September 5th. I'm back to get round 3 of feed into this yard. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's just been 4 days since I fed them last and pulled their honey supers off. Most of the hives have taken all of this feed. Some have not. And a lot of them are drawing some wax. So that's good. We're starting to pull that out. I don't know if we're going to finish it or not, but you know, if I can get a little bit more production out of them, that would be great. But we're definitely not in any danger of starving. See, they've drawn quite a bit in there. So that's great. I think 1 to 2 more feedings on this yard and I'll get all the comb out of them that I'm going to get. They're definitely not in any danger of starving, especially since they're getting so much feed so quick. This will be, let's see, I fed 2 gallons, set the boards 4 days later, 2 more gallons, 4 days later, 2 more gallons. So that's a pretty short period of time, 12 days to get 6 gallons of feed. Yep, definitely no danger of starving. Hopefully get a little bit more comb drawn, and they look great. This one had some, I think I put some laying worker frames in here because all those are drawn. I'll slow down on the feeding on this yard now. I think it's pretty critical when I strip the supers off to get feed into them quick in case some of them are on the verge of starving. You get 6 gallons in them, they're not going to starve anymore. You know, that buys me a couple of weeks if I need to. So I'm putting together boxes to drop on top of hives when I do my next round of honey pulls. I'll pull everything above the second medium, drop this box on, and put the escape board on top of that, and then put the honey supers on top, feed them. And I have been giving them 6 foundations, but I think we're past getting that done. We may be past getting this done, but I'm going to do this in a very specific way. I've got 4 foundations here, and then a brood comb on each side. So what I'll do is when I pull the supers off, I'll take 2 frames out of here. I'll pull 2 frames from the box underneath, put them in the center of this box, and then put 2 foundations together in the center of the box underneath. That way they will have 1 foundation sandwiched in between 2 drawn frames, and another foundation sandwiched in between 2 drawn frames, and down here they'll have 2 foundations sandwiched in between drawn frames. I notice this time of year, especially when bees don't want to draw comb, that they will typically draw better next to a drawn frame, but it takes a lot of feeding to get them to move. Like if these are 4 foundations, to get them to move to the center of all that and draw that out, it's more difficult. So I think by splitting it up like that, I've got a better chance of getting a little bit more comb drawn. We're gonna try it. Storing honey supers. I've got a plywood platform in this old barn that I use. It works pretty nicely. I do this F style. So I've got 30, 30, and then 10 in the middle. And that's so I can go in between the stacks and reach the ones in the back to refresh paramoth 2 or 3 times during the winter. This is what I'm using. Let's see if I can get a better look at that. This is what I'm using in lieu of paramoth. Same active ingredient as paramoth, but you can find that on Amazon. It's quite a bit cheaper. So stacking in that style, I've got a spacer on the top. I just put a paper plate there, put about a cup of paramoth, and halfway down the stack I'll come 5 up. I put a paper towel and a half a cup of paramoth. I don't refresh that during the winter. That is just to get rid of any wax moth that are in the stack, make sure I've got a really good treatment to start off with, and then I'll come up to the top, and that's where I will refresh it throughout the winter. I'm just about to outgrow my storage here. When I built this, I thought, well, that's more than I'll ever need, and now I need 2 or 3 times this much. I'm going to have to build some pallets to store boxes on. I really need to get a honey house built first, or maybe second. I don't know. I may have to build some pallets this year. I think I'm going to not have places to put honey supers. You can just store supers like this. Leave them in the sun and the rain and the wind. Your frames will darken. This one was left out for quite a while last year. Frames will turn gray like old barn wood. And your comb will darken some. These were probably left out for a while last year. I experimented with that. Left them out for a few months. As long as they get sun and rain and wind, you don't get wax moth in them. You can stack them inside a barn if you put them on the end and just stack them up. So that's probably what I'll start doing. You put them on the end and put them in kind of an H pattern, and that works well. It really does work well. Even brood comb stacked like that in this old barn. I did that last year and it works fine. So I think I prefer keeping them under roof versus leaving them out in the rain. But I think pallets, putting 6 per layer on a pallet is going to be what I need to do for the future. So when I really got into beekeeping, I was working for a company that made physical products and sold direct to consumer via our website. And I really needed to know how to make videos, to do better product videos. And I just started beekeeping, and I thought, well, I'll just start a YouTube channel for beekeeping, and then I'll learn about YouTube and be able to manage, the business's YouTube channel, and I'll learn how to do videos and get my production quality up enough that it's pretty good. So I got cameras and mics and all sorts of stuff, and learned a lot about how to make videos. And then that job ended, and I jumped into trying to build this business into a full-time career. I knew I was not going to have the time to make videos with the production quality that I had been doing, with tripods and multiple camera angles and multi-camming everything, multiple mic systems and all this. I knew it was going to have to be a front pocket phone sort of thing, and that's why I started the vlog. I thought I could keep up with it, with the workload that I knew I was going to have. And when I started doing this, Bob Benny told me that he was looking forward to seeing my 100th vlog and seeing where I was at that point. And I was talking to him in the past couple of weeks, and he told me that I was coming up on my 100th, and boy, that really made me think, I need to do like a special video for my 100th and I've got all of my media stored, all of my historical media, so I can go back and pull clips out of videos along the way and pull some really big moments and some bad moments and some funny moments and make like this review or collage for my 100th video. I have not had the time. I'm in the middle of honey extraction. I'm running late on that. I've got OAV treatments needing to go in or get done. I need to feed. And then my 6-year-old got strep throat this week and was out of school for 3 days. So I spent 3 days with her. at home. And yeah, so I've decided I just need to get 100th video out, and then I can do a sort of a review and business overview where I'm at sometime in the fall or winter when I've got time to do it. I was actually really productive this week. I got a subscription to Super Grok, really powerful artificial intelligence, and I've been able to upload PDFs to that, have it examine them, and then do extensive research. And I mean, I've written a food defense plan for my business, receiving standard operating procedures. I've gone through all of my standard operating procedures and renewed those. I'm working on a grant application to build a new honey house. It would help me build a new honey house. Loan application for that. Updated my resume, which has not been updated since 2012. Written a business plan. I mean, I've been busy, but I have done no beekeeping this week, and that changes today. It's Saturday. I told my wife, since I was basically off work or at home for 3 days this week, that she wasn't going to see me much this weekend, and that's just kind of how it is. So it's almost 9 a.m. and temperatures are finally warm enough that I can get into some hives without getting eaten up. And I'm pulling in to get some gas, and then we're gonna start hitting yards from the south to the north. I need to feed, let's see, I need to feed Swan, I need to feed Old 50, Spencer's, the Loop, the Bridge, and the Nuke yard. So I need to feed 6 yards and then go to my northernmost yard and set boards and get it fed. Set boards and boxes and get it fed. I think I can get all that done today. We'll see. So I haven't been to this yard in just a little bit. Gave most of them 1 gallon last time I was here. Some of them still got 2. I'm not going to pull any feeders today because I don't have any extra comb with me. That's one thing I failed to bring. But unless they are just slovenly heavy, I'm going to feed every one of them because I'm out here. Fall pollen flow is going, so they need to be brooding. And I don't know if they're bringing in a lot of nectar or not. I've not had time to really dig in and look. And I don't have time for that today either. I've got to feed, treat with OEV, and move. Feed, treat with OEV, and move as quickly as possible. So this hive on August 9th, I said was medium heavy. They had 1 feeder. I would say they're a medium now. They've lost weight. All of these have probably lost 1 category. Like heavy, I'd say they're medium heavy now. The medium heavies, some of them are still medium heavy, but a lot of them have declined a little bit in weight. Some of that is they took the syrup and dried it down, but they've also been eating a lot and not much coming in. You can tell a lot just by working 1/3 of a yard. I expect the rest of them are going to be like this too. That means I need to continue trickle feeding them probably throughout September and into October. Is this a hornet over here I just saw? That's a hornet. Dang it, it's hornet season in Tennessee. See if we can whack him. There's 2 hornets. I need a badminton racket. Hate them things. You always see them this time of year. They're hawking around the fronts of the hives. Those are European hornets. Thank goodness we don't have yellow-legged hornets yet. I hope they got that stopped in Georgia. It'd be bad news. So I had 1 hive in this yard that had a queen above the excluder. I moved her down on 7/25. It's now 9/12, I think. Plenty of time for any brood in these supers to emerge. So I'm going to go ahead and put a skateboard on here. I'm But I thought this was a good opportunity to talk about how skateboards work. It's, I don't know, 9:30 or something in the morning. Got down in the 50s last night. It's about 65 right now. Still cool, a little bit of shade. And there's honey up here, but there's very few bees in these supers. The top box has got almost none. If you can see that, there's very few. And by this afternoon, there will be tons of bees up in these supers. When it's 85 degrees, there'll be a lot of them up here. The bees do this every night. They go down to keep the brood warm. They cluster in the bottom if it's cool at night. And this escape board sits on the hive this way, so bees can go down, but then they go through this triangle baffle. Experienced beekeepers know this, but I get a lot of questions from new beekeepers, and they can't find their way back in. When they try to go back up, they all go to here, and they can't get up through the wire. They're not smart enough to go back in these baffles. So it's like a one-way valve. They go down at night, and they don't come back up. So gradually, over one day per super usually, especially if you put them on in the mid-afternoon when the boxes are full of bees, it takes about 3 supers. It'd take 3 days to clear these. It's not going to take that long with this because it's in the morning and the bees are all downstairs. So your whole management system works together by leaving the supers on these bees. They've got a noticeably smaller cluster than the other hives in this yard where I pulled honey off in July and have been feeding them since then. And that goes to show the importance of making sure you get as many queens down in the spring as possible. I think this one had a virgin in it that came back upstairs, and that happens, but it needs to be minimized because this hive is going to be smaller in spring than all the other ones because they have missed out on 6 weeks of feeding. That's afternoon. I'm doing a poor job of videography today. Just trying to get work done. Double queen hive here. Had a queen above the excluder. By the laying pattern, I'd say that she's pretty young. Queen below the excluder, she's doing really good too. What I've done in previous times in the season is I would move the queen downstairs, let them figure out which one they want to keep, let this brood age out for 24, 25 days. But, I'm already down to 250 to 270 colonies. And I think both of these are strong enough they're going to make it through winter. So I'm just going to load this one on the trailer, lock it up. I've got a bottom board from a dead out over here I can stick it on, lock them in there, and I'm going to take them with me and reorient them in another yard. Just make another hive. I give up my honey production on this unit, but that's okay. I'll have splits to make in the spring. It's about 5:30 now, and this yard was on my way home, so I grabbed the hive I needed to rehome and just dropped it off here. I was thinking about waiting until tomorrow morning because I'm pretty tired, but then I knew I had 2 empty spots in here and I'm driving right by it and they need to be fed too, so just went ahead and did it. Be glad to get done with this. Tired.